There it is. Got to put the S&D card. S&P 500. Forgot to put the card in. That was where we had the little tea parties. Or at least one of them. I talked about that earlier. Off this camera, anyway. It was like that, except for it was a house that was like there. Big old house. And it had a little garden like that, though. Here's where I used to live for about a summer. Maybe a little more. Like a spring and then into the fall a little bit. We used to run around and mess around here. That's where the dragon was. We threw like stuff. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember how that all went anyway. I was talking about last summer. We'd like throw stuff in there and there was like a dragon or a monster that would like eat it and stuff. And my apartment was like in there. Not there, but like over there. And too lazy to walk back. And here's the woman that used to give out like sugar cubes, put them on little trays and stuff. And then we'd sometimes throw sugar up onto the wall for like the ants. My place was, no, that was the babysitter's house. My place was like over here. I didn't spend that much time there. I just woke up and then I would go over here. And there were sometimes, I think I did spend the night over there. I think it may have been when, just before I left, I stayed there. At that place. And then over here, I think we like left or something. I'm trying to remember who I was there with. I remember the woman that was over there, and over here, and not so much. I saw the people like in the morning. There, there was about the last couple of weeks, I think, and it may have been summer where they let me like pretty much be awake like every day. I talked with the woman. We didn't have anything else to do, so for like much of the day, I would talk about my memories, about people that I used to like know and stuff like that. And she would just go, "Oh, I think this is just wonderful," and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, you know, I think she said it's like a flame in your brain that's just, you know, slowly kindling or something. The memories that you got or something like that. I don't know exactly what she said, but it was basically, it was just like it was like a flame in your brain or something. It was like right there, right where that Jeep is. And my room was kind of like right there towards the back end in the corner. Had a window that looked out like that way. Oh yeah, like a little smoker's thing. Like a flame in your brain. There's the Henny Haunted House. Hey kids. I'm gonna go up the stairs and just film stuff. I don't know. I should talk. Yeah, she said it was like a flame in your brain. She'd go like that. And I'd sit at the table and she would like, she'd sit at the table and she'd go, "Why don't you like flame some more brain stuff? Give me some more of your thoughts. Just burn them and have them fly up in the sky. Or, you know, up in the air, and then we'll even open the window so they can go out the window." And that's what I did. It was like about the last 2 weeks I think I was there, and that's all I kind of did was just talk and talk and talk. I did it at school sometimes too. There was one time I was at Laurelhurst and I talked. I was supposed to talk, I think, scheduled for about 2 hours or something, and like pretty much like no one else was there except for me and like some of the teachers. And there was like a male and a female teacher. There may have been 2 female teachers. I'm not sure. And I think the idea, they thought I would say some things over about 2 hours here and there, like spaced out like 5 minutes in between. That's what they told me later. Dubai. I talked about this before. I guess I didn't have it on camera though. And I wound up. I was there at the school, and I wound up talking. I would say I started at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I talked till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I lost my voice. I just went completely hoarse, and I talked pretty much just about nonstop. I think at one point we were going to take a break, and I stopped talking for about 5 minutes or something like that, and then I just went right back into talking about it. And then I went back later, and I think it was the same school, and I went and they wanted me to talk about my Indian days, like in Canada and stuff. When I first started out in life, and I talked about it. I think it was supposed to be for something like a 2-hour time. They extended it to about another half hour, and I think I could have talked more, but then they're like, okay, you gotta kind of stop, because I know the students were coming back too into class. I think it was sort of a thing where I was supposed to talk for a while and have a little bit of a break before the students got there, and I just kept talking until they started coming into class, and so that's what I did. I talked about that before too. This was probably dates. People want dates. I don't know. Probably Laurelhurst. When I talked there at the school, it was probably the I would say it was probably like the 1930s. It may have been earlier though, like the 20s or something like that. I'm kind of thinking like after about the mid-1930s on, it was all like Kennewick and modern housing and stuff like that, for the most part, except for places like in Pasco or something like that. And then and the time I lived there was probably about, I don't know, 1910, 1920 or something like that. I don't know. People get probably into if I don't give dates, if I don't give details, people complain about dates. If I don't give enough dates, they complain I don't give enough details. It's probably going to always be something. I'm just like, I don't know. Let's say we want more details, but it's just like my strategy kind of like right now is just to put a bunch of different stuff out and have people just kind of going every which way. I think somebody told me that was when, if you're going to wreck things with a memory or something, that was one of the best ways to go, was to just throw all kinds of things at people and stuff like that and have them just kind of go, I can't keep up with this is overwhelming. Just kind of what I'm doing. That's what I do best. That's probably about the only thing I can do. Details, sketches, this, that, and the other stuff. It's I don't know. It's not so easy, and you gotta practice at it and stuff. And maybe someday I'll do it. So today I wrote 10 pages. So of various stuff. I mean, every page kind of skips this, that, or the other thing. I got that with my pinky, but my pinky was holding the camera. So I got their hazards. See? Look at that. Where's that scar? There's a little one right there. There. There's that scene in Schindler's List where they go out of the manhole, which is like the mole, and then there's that thing on the blood, and then they go down that way. It's almost like right here. It's almost like as if they were going out of that one, and there's a wall right there, and then you go that way. School is a trap. That's your way to freedom. You gotta put signs and stuff down there on 23rd. Okay, just not getting it. And memories. You gotta burn it with memories. Yeah. I stayed with her. I moved out with these people. I can't remember these people very well. I keep thinking maybe it was a Sanja or somebody like that, but I kind of don't think so. And I think there were people that were in my life, and then they were kind of just gone. I think they just get me ready in the morning, and I used to go over here really early. I was one of the first ones to get there, one of the last ones to leave. And anyway, I spent I think about 2 weeks with the woman there in that apartment. Although I used to go in the apartment all the time because I was there all the time. It was basically my place during the day. Yeah. And she was just like, you got to burn it. You got to kill it with memories. People want a reference. I suppose Rebecca would be a reference. Laurence Olivier, why is he in it? Because we used to run downhill here, And then there, that was like in North Bend, Oregon, but it has like hills like there, and then of course it has like, you know, hills like there, and stuff like that. And now Moorsey was dismissed because we were going to work on building a house over by, he used to live on Monroe, north of Montana. We were thinking about me, him, and then eventually it was like some of the other neighbor kids. We kind of figured we could like build a house on the other side of the block and stuff like that. Have a lot of the old kids that like were there, could like live there and stuff if they wanted. It would be just about next to where, see, Hannah later when she got in my life had a house on the corner of Montana and Meade on the northwest corner, you see. There in North Bend, and then you go up one more house, I think, and it was, I believe it was just one more lot. It could have been two. One more lot. You had the old creepy dark house where Virginia, who was my friend earlier in North Bend, like lived, but she was like pretending to be like an old woman, Queen Victoria. And that was like, oh gosh, like that was like the 20s when that happened. Hannah in my life at that time, I'm not really sure when that happened. It was probably the 20s as well, I think. And then I used to like go out and help her garden and stuff like that. Sort of like the movie The Summer of the 42. Although, no, actually I think it may have been later, because I think I lived, there was like a Kennewick thing, and then I think I went back to North Bend for a little bit, every once in a while. But I'm not entirely sure about the decades on this thing. And so Virginia was the one where, like, you know, she goes in with like a serving tray, and she was like the old woman, playing the old woman and stuff like that. I wrote that in one of the things, and it was just like, she was like, I see you're friends with the other girl that was Virginia. There was this other girl that was named Virginia. She was like really tall, and she was like, oh, isn't that nice? And I was just like, yeah, well, she wasn't like the old Virginia. She like dropped the tray and it crashed. She was like, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. She went into the kitchen, and then she went into the room, and I was like, she wasn't like the old Virginia. Now there was a gal. The stock market crash of 1929. Gone south, yeah, because she was facing south.
Low power.
Low in power. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something new. I guess that the burning memories kind of thing was a little bit like that. The crazy woman that lives up here or there, that was like there was like a monster that lived. We imagine it as like being a chimney, and either a monster or like a dragon. There was one girl that had, I talked about it before, dang, I can't remember the details though. You'll have to insist on seeing it. And she had like a book that she got from somewhere. It was very rare and very expensive, and it had a picture of a dragon in it and stuff. And that's where it was like. It's kind of like Natalie and Bruley's Torn video, who's Sue Ellen, who had a house, like kind of like right over there. Let's say, it wouldn't be 23rd. It would be, I think it was 24th, and I got to look a little bit more specific. I think it was 24th. Was it over here? I don't think so. I think it was like 24th. I pointed that out, but although I don't have it on, so I don't know. You'll just have to check comedy shows and stuff for black and white cats that are meowing and crossing the street, like right at this time. Whatever time that might be. Hi, kitty. Hi there. You look like Plumpers your Tank from Montana. Here in Portland, not North Bend. Or you're like the old cat on Monroe in North Bend. When Heidi and I were trying to, like, mess around. That was Heidi, Kim Cattrall now, and she was Marilyn Monroe. Later. That makes me El Presidente. That makes me Big Daddy. Or Sex in the City, that makes me Mr. Big, I guess. Yep, we had a little gate right here. Didn't have the brick fence. It had like a little gate that was here and stuff like that. Now this was like kind of taken out, and there was like more kind of like lawn, but it was like really kind of long. The garden stuff was like actually more like in here. Take all that garden and kind of move it into the corner here, and then along there a little bit, and then there. I don't know if I had a path there. I think I had a path that went like that, and then like over like so. And it was more like little, I think they were like almost like river stones you had like hopped on or something. You know, you kind of, we play like over there sometimes, and I think we were told to stop because some of the younger kids were like following us, and they'd like twist their ankle and stuff like that. In those days, everybody was paranoid about getting injured. And rightfully so. When I was, you know, in, North Vancouver Island and BC and stuff like that, we were real paranoid about getting injured. Because then you had to go away, sometimes for like months. You know, if you got really, really like injured. I talk about this all the time. Up there in the forest. I guess people say it doesn't count if it's not recorded, but I just didn't really, I don't know, think to do so much. I didn't realize how important it was. Even now, if I had to like talk like that, I talk all the time off camera about these interesting things. You know. So, let's see what we got here. There's my car. Hey, get out of the shot. Did that ruin it? Starvation. Pfizer sponsor. This baseball player hat. I was like with Candace one day, and I talked about all that some other time. I'll have to insist on watching that video. We had a yellow and white baseball player hat. It's in the video. Adia, and then it's also like well, it's probably in a lot of stuff that Jodie Foster does, because that's who that is. She added a lot on there. The more I know somebody, I think the better I know them, the more they've like usually they always have like on right here. Somebody kind of look at them, you can almost sort of see it's just like, yeah, they look like somebody that probably did add stuff on. It looks natural, but it's not, you know, probably not 100% quite. I don't give a hoot. She had a t-shirt on that said that girl right there, and I did not get it. Okay, there's a bird of prey, I think, up here, and it hears, I think, the mourning dove that was over there. So let's get over to the park. The house over here for sale, I think I knew. We used to like, there was some kid we knew that took like slingshots and stuff. And we used to throw stuff like over there and stuff like that. And I think one time we like cracked one of the windows of the place. It had a bunch of like panes and stuff on it, more so than it's got like now. We were like, I was just talking about this like about half hour ago or so. We were like right here, and then we like shot like with a slingshot like over here. I think later he got one like it was like with a slingshot like that with the whole thing. At the time though, he was just taking like rubber band kind of stuff, and he could kind of like do it. A lot of people kind of couldn't though, and you know, It was the easiest thing to like work. The rubber band girl. Leave him to the potty. All right, let's go. I don't know. Just look around here, I guess. Garage doors. I think one time we hit the door, and like the second time, or he did, and then like the next time it was like we hit like the window. He was like, "I'm pretty sure we hit the window," and we were like, "Oh no, I don't think so." And then we like ran over that way, which was really stupid because we needed to like, I think everybody kind of lived in general. They sort of like lived like kind of like over in here and stuff. That may have been the time I lived like over there. I was staying with the people in the apartments over there. So yeah, that was not a smart thing at all. We like ran over that way. We all went up kind of like trapped like, about 2 or 3 blocks up like that way. Like kind of like over in there. And stuff. On that particular time, he was just like, "There's no way. I don't know. Maybe I'll never go back home." They're like, "You gotta go back home. That's where you live." I was like, "Okay, how am I supposed to get there when I just busted up to this, that, or the other thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, that does pose a problem." Eventually, people were like, "You gotta like just run right through." This is what you gotta do. You gotta like run right through. Okay, let's do sports because they're doing live stuff like all the time. E S P N. This will help time it because I don't have a watch. I got my computer thing in there and stuff, but I don't want to get that out. And then let's do Fox, which could be Fox Sports. Probably a little late for Saturday Night Live. Although maybe it's not, so I could say Saturday Night Live. Let's go ahead and do that. Saturday Night Live. Well, thank you. Then let's do Oregonian. Let's do Columbian, Orange County. So we got from Orange County. Here we go. And then let's do New York Times. And I don't got much time. Let's do NBA, like that, and then let's do MLB. I can do NHL. I don't know if they got so much hockey going on right now. I don't know anything about hockey. They can tweet though. How about G for golf? There we go. GOLF.